Hi, welcome to the Infinite Filmmakers Release the Genie Within broadcast. My name is Rich Smith. I'm a filmmaker and a spiritual life coach. Now, I want you to imagine that your life is a movie created by an infinite filmmaker, and there's no limit to what it can create in your movie called life. Now, I want you to imagine that this is not your imagination, but your reality. What would your life look like? That's what we're going to explore in this broadcast as we introduce you to the infinite filmmaker creating the movie of your life that's perfect, whole, and complete. So sit back, enjoy the show. Today's guest speaker is Reverend Robert Brzezinski. He holds a master's degree in consciousness studies, is an ordained minister of religious science, and considers himself a multi-passionate entrepreneur. His lifelong quest for truth has led through various philosophies and communities. He finds himself at a unique crossroads of spirituality and social experience. Robert is passionate about exploring the emergent experience of virtual community and personal development. He can be reached through his website at www.spiritevolving.com or at Facebook, www.facebook.com/RobertBRZ. I look forward to sharing some of the experiences that I've had using spiritual principles for success. And with that said, let's get on with the show. Hope you enjoy it. So basically what I would like to do is you pick 4 principles, which is pretty interesting. Let's go to the 4th one, and I'm going to share my screen. And then we'll have a really deep conversation about this principle, because I think that's what these teachings is all about. It's about going deeper, you know, and that's what takes us out of the religious realm into the philosophical realm, is that we're able to go deeper and deeper understanding of us, who we are, what why we were created, what was our purpose in life, and how are we connected to that infinite intelligence, you know? And a lot of people, I remember when I first studied this at Agape, I was like with Reverend Michael Beckwith. And I just remember sitting back and going, this is like life-changing stuff. I mean, I was learning about the principle of oneness, so that there's an unlimited power and presence, that our minds are connected to it, that it's one mind, one individualized aspect. Our mind is an individualized aspect of that one mind, and that when we think into that mind. I'm going, whoa, this was way before the law of attraction and all of that stuff. So it was like really interesting to me. So I want to go to the principle. Let me share principle number 4. I'll read the beginning part of it, and then we'll start discussing it. I also had some questions that I formed for you based on the principle. I don't know if you had a chance to look them over, but I'll ask them again, and then we'll see what leads. Okay, let's see. I think it's this one. Okay, you see that?
Yep.
Okay, principle number 4. So your individual movie is irrefutably connected to the universal movie. What is happening in the macrocosm of the universal movie, or that's the movie that's taking place around you, is just a reflection of what you're creating in your individual life's movie. The infinite filmmaker gave you, its character, the ability to consciously shift your thoughts and beliefs as a way of creating what you want to experience in your life. If you want a better world to live in, then you must change your inner world first. So basically, there's a connection going on here, and I'm going to switch back between the inner world and the outer world. And how does what we do in our life change people? I know in prayer treatment, that you do a prayer treatment, that changes things. Physically sometimes changes things. What is this individual movie and this universal movie that we're all living? How is it all connected?
Absolutely. I like to look at it from this perspective. If we agree to the concept that there's one power, presence, and intelligence that's operating as all of life, which is a universal thread that we see in all real religions and philosophies.
Yeah.
There's this one power, presence, and intelligence. If that is true, then I must be part of that. And if I'm part of that, then my expression, my experience in life has to be vital to the larger experience of the one life, of this thing called oneness. I like to sometimes look at it from the perspective of we're creating a masterpiece together.
Yeah.
Now, the ancient masterpieces, the ancient paintings, they didn't happen immediately. It wasn't a fully formed vision often. And it requires layers and layers of complexity and time. And we add a brush stroke. The great masters would add a brush stroke and sit back and look at it for whatever their process was, right?
Mm.
We're doing that same thing. That's the grand masterpiece. That's God's big video, right? Movie. That's the ultimate filmmaker's video.
So you're saying
That's
we're creating our movie like an artist creates a picture?
absolutely, absolutely. So within this giant masterpiece, we are not only we are the hand and we are the brush and we are the activity of the stroke. We are in every moment. See, here's the thing. If it is true that there is only one thing going on, one power, presence, and intelligence, and if it is true that we are part of that, and then the ultimate truth is everyone on this planet is part of that too.
Yeah.
And that means even the people I don't like,
Yeah.
even the people I don't agree with, even the people I want to see elected out of office next term around, right? It doesn't really
Well,
matter who.
we're not going to get political.
No, no, right? But it really doesn't matter
Yeah.
who it is in my mind that I see as an other. What I really have to do is the work of coming to recognize that, wait a minute, they're part of this one God too. They're part of this oneness also. And so they're using the same principles. Here's the important part. We're all using the same principles to create the life we truly desire. They're creating their life exactly as they desire. They may not know it.
Mm.
And they may actually believe that, no, this is happening to me.
Yeah.
What we learn in this philosophy, and I know you mentioned Reverend Michael Beckwith, he teaches this very, very well in his Four Kingdoms of Consciousness. We are all conditioned in some way early on to believe that life happens to me.
Yeah.
And that's our first step, is to break free of that limiting belief that life is happening to me and recognize that life is happening through me, that I do have a say in what goes on in my life.
Yeah.
It's I think Friday the 13th is a great example of this. If you believe in Friday the 13th, you wake up in the morning with a mindset that's saying, oh gosh, no, it's Friday the 13th, something bad's gonna happen. Where is it gonna come from? I gotta be on the lookout. And yeah, well, eventually you're gonna experience something because you're looking for it.
Yeah. Yeah.
A little bit of the law of attraction there, right? But it's bigger because I can also be in that place of, hey, wow, you know what? Today's Friday the 13th. I bet I can go all day long and not have anything bad happen to me. Let's make that my reality today.
Yeah.
And then when I go through my day, my prayer work, any meditation work I'm doing, or contemplation, what I have to do in meetings or connections with other people, I come from that place of saying, it's going to be a great day. Things are going
Yeah.
to go my way,
Yeah. So, the way I see this is we're writing the script to our movie called Life.
moment by
Actually,
moment.
and if you're in prayer and meditation and visioning, you're co-writing that script. So, I explained it that there's the two screenplays that you're working with. One is created by God, the infinite filmmaker, that's perfect, whole, and complete for the
Yeah,
story of your life, right?
yeah,
Um, that's first cause. Then there's a story that's written by secondary cause. That's the one that the producers get a hold of, and out of fear, doubt, and worry, they mess it all up. They change it. They turn, they take the dialogue out, some of the dialogue, they change it, and
right.
then it doesn't become the movie that was intended for that life, for your life. And so we're basing our movie on the secondary script. I'm asking you, how do you find the primary script for your movie called Life?
Mm. Now that's the real question, right? And as we were talking about before we started recording here today, right? For me, it comes through that visioning process. It comes through that process. And to make visioning simple, it's really just a dialogue with the infinite filmmaker. So let's put it into this context. So yes, you've got your secondary script, you've got your producers that are screaming at you, this got to be happening, and we need this product placement in that scene or whatever. And you, as the character, well, you've got an opportunity to go sit with the director.
Yeah.
You've got an opportunity to go sit with the director quietly in a private space and not get all happy and, oh my God, my life isn't working. What the heck? And not accuse, but to be in that place of really having a conversation that says, hey, listen, this is what I need to know.
Mm.
And part of that is, and in that we're working on our deeply held beliefs and biases. So in this listening, we get to have a conversation and we get to listen. We get to ask questions and inquire and listen.
Yeah.
Here's the trick about the visioning process, however. We are still human. And so whatever information we receive from the infinite filmmaker, from the director, well, we're going to filter that through our own beliefs and our own biases, our
Mhm.
own experiences, our own judgments.
Yeah.
We're still going to come away from that conversation going, no, I don't think he quite gets me. No, I really think I should be doing this instead of that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And so visioning and these deeply contemplative discussion, two-way avenue conversations, these allow us to revisit these conversations again and again and again and again. And over time, with repetition, what I have found is I am better able to listen to the infinite filmmaker and set aside my own limited ego-based limiting beliefs about who and what I should be in the world, and I follow the filmmaker's direction.
Great. So instead of using carnal mind, mortal mind, the mind that says, I should be doing this, I got to do this, you start to begin to use spiritual mind. And
Yes,
that's spiritual mind treatment. And that's where the prayer comes in.
yes,
And so, just for our audience here, so let's continue this a little deeper. So then you're saying that let's get into spiritual mind treatment. We'll get into visioning too, but in spiritual mind treatment, you are using infinite intelligence. Yeah, explain what that is.
absolutely.
Yeah.
The way I love to explain all of this is that we actually have various ways to communicate with God, the oneness. We were just talking about visioning, that's a two-way communication. For me, spiritual mind treatment is a one-way communication. It's directive. I am taking the direct belief in my own mind and I am implanting that into the divine mind in order to create a desired outcome.
Right.
The fun part here is that we don't always get what we want.
Usually something better.
Most often, in yes, that often requires some retrospect and some hindsight and a little time between the
And
devil
faith.
and oh, that is what was really best for me. As a minister, I could share tons of stories with you in my own life where I thought I knew what was best,
Yeah.
and my prayer work and felt strong in my prayer work, and I'm treating for this, and then I got something totally different.
Yeah. And then you look back and you go, thank God. I
But
didn't
it
get
took
that.
a year to get to that point of being able to say, oh, thank God that that project blew up or that person said that or whatever it might be, right?
You
So
know, I was telling the story about my film festival, and it was devastating for me. But I look back now and I go, thank God that that festival crashed, that my computer crashed. Because if it didn't, I wouldn't be here today. And I always look at my life, where I'm at right now, and I'm going, if you love your life and you love what you're doing and you got passion to be able to reach out and help people, inspire people, then you're then you're living the life you were meant to be living, And you can look back and go, thank God all this didn't happen because I love my life right now. And the only way I was able to get to that is through these teachings,
Right.
is to be able to be okay with things the way they are and see the best of all worlds. It's like Candide, the best of all worlds, that the optimism and just knowing. And when you're in that vibration, you create more of that. Your life gets better and better and better. And if you're interested in joining my community, you can do that at facebook.com/infinitefilmmaker.